All right. Hey, welcome everybody to the Wednesday afternoon team call, which we call the 30-minute mentor series call. I'm going to go over some brief announcements real quick. This morning was the day that you register for your summit tracks, getting the shuttle pass, picking up lunch boxes if you want. There was a lot of difficulty this morning, and you got to realize there's 25,000 people trying to register all at once, and it couldn't handle us. But it seems to be working now. It seems to be the registrations are starting to go through. So what you want to do is check your email. If you're already registered for Summit, check your email. There'll be a code in there. Go in, get registered. The majority of our team has chosen Hall D and Chris Downing as the workout. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, don't know about Summit, we want you to come to Summit. It's not too late. Summit is not for a certain rank or achievement that you've been able to accomplish. Summit is for everybody, the brand new coach and the veteran coach alike. It's July 13th through the 16th in New Orleans. If you are not going, I want you to really think about going and reach out to me, reach out to your upline diamond, your diamond coach or upline coach, your sponsor coach, ask them about it. What I've known about the past 6 years, I've been to Summit all 6 years. I've seen people team up together, share rooms, split costs, and make it very affordable. And almost every single huge success story that we've had in this team, the switch happened at Coach Summit. So if you're serious about building a business, you must figure out a way to get to Summit. Like, it should be your top priority this year. So with that being said, I also want you guys to know, as a brand new coach, if you hit Success Club in your first 3 full months as a coach, you get a free ticket to Summit. So that's your first full month. So if you signed up in April, let's say you didn't hit it in April, May can also start as your first full month. Hit it for 3 months, you get a free ticket to Summit. Oh, you guys understand that. I also want to shout out Joshua Khalil as a brand new coach. He's been a coach for 24 days, hit Success Club 16 his first month. He's at Success Club 12 this month, and he's halfway to Diamond. So he's well on his way to possibly being a Diamond in 30 days, 40 days, 45 days. So I want to give him a shout out for that as well. And now I'm going to introduce our speaker. She's got to be off the call at precisely 30 minutes after the hour to go pick up her kids. Her name is Moira. I met Moira in person at the elite reception at Coach at the Success Club trip that we were at last week or 2 weeks ago. We sat down and we asked if we could sit at their table. We sat with them for the elite reception, got to know her, found out that she's number 7 in Team Beachbody for 2017. So she's in the running for the top 10. Her topic today is going to be mastering your mindset. I want you guys to understand she is number 7 this year. Her team is number 7. She's a Success Club 5 All-Star legend, Success Club 10 All-Star, a 9-star Diamond coach, and get this, guys, she started coaching in 2015. She's a 2017 Elite coach, a success starter, and if you guys have been doing and partaking in the Team Cups, the majority of the Team Cup winners are Canadian teams, so they were the number 1 USA Team Cup in fall of 2016. So Moira has some incredible value that she's going to be giving to us today, and I am going to unmute her and let her take it away. So Moira, with that being said, this is all yours.
Great. Thanks, Scottie. This is such an honor. I'm nervous. Oh my gosh. I've shared with my team like how this relationship started, and it's so hilarious because I have followed Scottie Hobbs since day one, and like stalked his YouTube. Anytime I'm driving around, I'm like YouTube searching his channel for whatever I want to learn about. And so for him to come up to our table at the elite party and be like, "Excuse me, can I sit here?" I was like, yeah, like it was like so cool. And then we just hit it off, and I adore you and your wife and the people that I've already met on your team. You know, it's amazing. And that's what sets my fire about this business, is the relationships that we get to build and the people that we get to meet. But I am short on time because I am a mama and I got to go pick up my kids. And I'm already pushing it with being late. But I want to talk to you guys about mastering your mindset. It's kind of my jam. It's just what I think is underneath everything. Like, we can talk about scripts and inviting and systems and tracking systems and Facebook pages and ads, like all that stuff. But if you don't have the mindset, none of that matters. I really, truly believe that. So for those of you that don't kind of know my story, I'm going to not try to go too far into it, but this will play into the mastering your mindset. So I was a challenger for 14 months. And I was the worst challenger. I was the one that never showed up, never posted my accountability, would like be drowning in like chocolate chip cookies and be like reaching out to my coach for help. And she'd be like, get back in the group. And I was just a mess. And she kept telling me that I should coach because I had taught Pilates for many years and I had this wellness background. It's funny how we go into careers that we kind of need help in, you know? And I just kept thinking to her, like saying to her, like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I am a mess and I cannot even begin to like coach anyone. And she kept just kind of planting the seeds. And I was actually trying to run a business here. I was starting a cold pressed juice company and it was consuming me and breaking me and breaking the bank too, my bank. And so I had this experience of being an entrepreneur with 2 different businesses and the stress that comes with that. And the, you know, if somebody doesn't show up, guess who goes to work? If something breaks, guess whose pocket it comes out of? You know, customer service, that's me. Shipping, that's me. Like all of it. So I was at this breaking point. It was breaking my family, my marriage. It was just a really dark place in my life when she brought up coaching for the millionth time. And I said yes. And I said yes only because I knew that I needed you guys. Like I needed the community. And I knew that if I led others, that I would be better. And by that, I mean, like I asked my 2 best friends to buy 21 Day Fix. Like that's all I was going to do. And for 3 months, I did that, like pinky toe in the water, just barely like dabbling in coaching because I wasn't going to tell anybody that I was doing Beachbody. Like my ego was so big and like this was so cheesy and no one could ever know. But what happened over the course of those 3 months is I'm stalking people like Scottie Hobbs. I'm stalking Amy Silverman. I'm stalking Lindsay Matway and Melanie Mitro. And like so curious, like I'm getting lured in, you know, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. But I'm still like, I'm never going to do this. Like I could never tell anybody what I'm doing. But what happened was I started to follow the vital behaviors. When I signed up as a coach, I started working out every day, reading my personal development every day, which changed me the most. And I started to become a better me. I started to become a better mom. I started to become a better wife. And within 3 months, everything in my life had changed because I had changed on the inside. And I had this ridiculous life transformation. And I was at this jumping off place where I was like, okay, I've been given this gift that I never could have ever even imagined. And I am so wrapped up in fear of judgment of others, what people are going to think of me, that I just can't make the leap. I can't do it. You know, I can't go out there on social media and do all this. And I get it. It's what I talk to coaches about all day long. But I got really clear on like, okay, do I want to be Amy Silverman, Lindsay Matway, Melanie Mitro, Scottie Hobbs? Like, do I want that life? Do I want to be hanging out with those people and influencing the world and making an impact and living this life of freedom, time freedom, financial freedom? Or do I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, wrapped up in fear about what my neighbor thinks? Like, and I didn't want to be that person. And I felt like I got pushed up against a wall and I had a decision to make. And I knew that I wasn't going to do this a little. I was going to go all in. And I actually got on a random team call in July. I didn't even know what a team call was. And Josh Spencer was the guest speaker. And I don't know what he said, but he shared his story. He shared his story and he shared his heart and he shared his financial success. And like the heart and my entrepreneurial wheels were turning. Like I saw this opportunity. And I just decided to go all in. And that doesn't mean I just got over all my fear instantaneously, you know, but I started to read enough personal development and listen to enough coaches that I knew that there were people out there that needed me and I needed to get over my own insecurities, that I wasn't going to be able to make this impact on the world that I so desperately wanted to make without getting over my damn self. Have you read that book? If you haven't, you have to read it. It's like everything that your coach wants to tell you. And so, you know, what happened was I went from inviting 2 or 3 friends, or say during those 3 months, I invited 6 or 7 friends. And I would tell my coach, talking to so many people. And she'd be like, you know, no, you're not. And so it randomly was Team Cup that month. So I got into Team Cup. And this is like little things that I look back and realize I did. You know, when I went all in and somebody said, it's Team Cup, just get on a team. I was like, okay, who wants me? I want to be on a team. I don't know what we're doing, but I'm going to be on a team. Like I just jumped in and I didn't hold back anymore. And I figured it out as I went. And I started working the business like 6, 7, 8 hours a day because you guys, it wasn't that I was like working. I loved it so much that I couldn't turn it off. And I think I hit like SC 40, 50 every month, like from that point on, because I finally got over the fact and got really clear on, I wanted every single person in the world to experience what I experienced. And it's such a gift. And I'm not selling you something. I'm not selling protein shakes, you know? And when I talk to my coaches about like this mindset of inviting, this is a huge mindset thing too. So I remember my first year, and you guys might think I'm crazy, but this is a little bit of like, I think top 10 thinking. I remember thinking, if I invite 300 people a month, I'm going to hit Success Club. Like I like black and white. I'm a black and white thinker. Like this is hard, inviting 3 or 4 people and they're not responding to me. And oh my God, do they hate me? What do they think of me? Like that whole downward spiral mindset. I was like, screw it. If I just invite 300 freaking people off my Facebook page, like I'm going to get 5 people, you know? And so the mindset that I tell my coaches is, say it's 100, and 100 is not a lofty number if you really want to do well in this business. If you're going to invite 100 people, and that's pretty much what my month looks like right now. I know if I invite 100 people, I'm going to hit Success Club, probably well into Success Club. But let's just say in the beginning, because people didn't know who I was or what I was doing, I invited 100, and 3 people said yes. I am so on fire and so excited to help those 3 people. Like I'm asking them their goals. I'm asking them what they're struggling with. They're like totally pouring their hearts out to me. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm so excited. I don't have any time to think about the 97 people that might be slightly irritated with me or think I'm annoying. You know, that's just projecting. Like I don't have time to think about the no's because I've got enough yeses. And that's why you have to talk to as many people as you can. Because my coach is like, you know, we'll be on a team call and somebody will be like, hey, can I share something? And they'll talk for 15 minutes about one person. And I'm like, oh, good gravy. Like, move on, people. She's going to say yes 3 months from now. Like, you just got to move on. And I think, and it's not like it's a numbers game, but that person's not ready. It's not their time. It's not going to work. And that's okay. And when you come at that like a coach that says, I totally get that. I totally understand that. And I honor that. And you know what? Is it okay if I follow up with you in a couple months? Like, just come from your heart with it. Don't like try to convince them, because if you're talking to enough people, like we talk about objections all the time, and it's good to know how to handle objections, but you don't need to know how to handle objections that much if you're talking to enough people, you know? And one thing that, you know, and that goes back to like the belief of just living with like that, this to me, I feel like is my calling in life. And like, it's my, like that servant's heart. Like I'm here to serve the world, and Beachbody gives me a tool set to do that with. I'm not here to sell you anything or talk you into anything. So that's kind of the thing that I wanted to talk about with customers. With coaching, and this is funny because Scottie, you probably remember this. I heard this story and like I remember things that that really hit me in the heart. And I guess this was at leadership. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago. I obviously wasn't there, but somebody told me how when y'all sat down, there were 2 tickets on your desk. And Carl said at some point something like to the effect of, you hold in your hand 2 tickets to the 2 biggest problems that face our country: obesity and poverty. And like, that's going to make me emotional because you guys, like we do. And so to be able to offer somebody a life that it was coaching that transformed me. So I never think for a split second that I'm trying to get somebody or that I'm trying to, you know, make money off of somebody. Like that's just so foreign to me. You know, it's like, I remember I had a brand new coach in the very beginning. She was my first coach. And when we started doing all this, and I was recruiting coaches, and she's like, well, how do you like handle that when you're like trying to get somebody? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she kept like trying to explain to me what she was asking me. And I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. And I was like, oh, I don't see it that way at all. Like I see it as like offering somebody the greatest gift that they will probably ever be given and the greatest opportunity that they'll ever be given. And, you know, so that kind of goes into, you know, fast forward like a year and I was building a really big team and I had a lot of coaches and I had some diamond coaches. And my coaches were saying to me whenever we get together, like, Moira, what in the world do you tell people to just, you're like signing coaches up left and right? And I probably got asked this question like 20 times before I realized, like, they kind of want me to give them like a PowerPoint presentation. And this is what I do. Anytime someone is local and they want to talk about coaching, I'm like, let's go get coffee. I want to get out of this house. I want to get away from my computer. I want to get away from my phone. What fills me up is human connection. And I don't really care if you don't sign up as a coach. I just met some awesome woman. We have so much in common. Like, I just made a friend. I'm not there to like get you, you know, but 9 times out of 10, they sign up as a coach. And I'll tell you this, I was at a coffee shop, and like my coffee shops are like my second office. And I was talking to this coach, potential coach, and one of my coaches was at a table behind me. And she's like got in her containers. And I was literally like, this is a very different situation going on here. Like, I just meet you, like, you know, it's just me. And I just want to tell you my story. And I want to share my passion with you. And that's something I was telling my team the other day. Like, I can give you all the scripts, but that doesn't really matter. It's the energy and the passion. And I think like 9 times out of 10, when those people sign up, they don't even know what the heck they're signing up for. They're just like, I want what you have. I want what you got from this. I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but sign me up. Because that's how I believe, like, that's what I believe about this opportunity is like the team dynamic, what this is going to give you. And so you know, it's just that passion and that exchange and that relationship that you're building from day one. You're not selling them, like, I'm not going over team cycle bonuses, you know, that's like not even, you know, on the forefront of my mind. So you have to really shift your mindset into, you know, that this is a gift. This is a gift. And, you know, I do want to preface that by saying, like, I don't always feel like this. I don't always feel 100% of the time on fire about this. There are days I'm sick right now. There are days when I don't want to invite and I don't want to pick up the phone. But you have to, like, 2 things. You have to get yourself into state, you know, and I'm going to end with that in a minute because I think it's the most powerful thing you can do for your life and your business. But you also have to, like, milk the times when you are on fire. You know, when you walk out of a Super Saturday and you think you're going to be top 10 next year and you're going to conquer the world, call the people on your dream team that you are hoping do this, that you've been too scared to call for the last 2 years. Because that's when they're going to hear it in your voice. That's when they're going to feel it. And that's when you're going to connect with them, you know, not when you're like nervous and like feeling insecure and not sure how to handle this situation. Tony Robbins, I think, always says, like, never leave the sight of something. Like, never leave the sight of the idea behind it is never leave the sight of like that feeling without taking an action, without making a phone call, without setting an appointment, without doing something. So I just feel like that's really important, you know, and that leads me to talking about Tony Robbins. You have to invest in your business. Again, like, I feel like I look back and sometimes I don't realize what I did. Like, a bunch of my people on my team were going to see Tony Robbins, and I was like, well, that's just not something I'm going to do. Like, I'm traveling I'm traveling a lot for this already. And I had a dream, I'm like, wait, how do I say this? It was not a sexual dream. Let me just throw that out there. I had a dream about Tony Robbins, though, and I woke up one morning and I was like, I have to go. I have to go. I shouldn't have gone. You know, my family was already like, you're traveling a lot. I have 2 little kids. I was going to be flying back on my son's birthday. Like, nothing fit. But I was at a point, because I'd done enough personal development, that I knew how this was going to impact my life as a mom, as a coach, as a wife, as into my business. And so I made it happen. So, like, you've got to get the excuses out. So, you know, that's something I also want to touch on with mindset. I came here like all of you, and I thought, I don't have her skill set. Well, guess what? I found out she didn't have that skill set when she got here either. You know, I don't have the time, you know, and then I like got to know Melanie Mitchell's story, and I was like, oh, well, shoot, she didn't have the time either. Like, there's a coach in the top 10 that will smash any self-limiting belief you have. You know, Amy Silverman, she didn't have a background in anything. She was a cocktail waitress, you know? So, and one of the best things I heard Amy say that I will never forget, because as much as I've been doing this personal development, I was watching her speak at Summit last year. and she's my upline. So we're very good friends, but she was on stage looking like, you know, a rock star, quite frankly, like a rock star. I mean, just, she's tall to begin with. She's got 6-inch heels. She's got her extensions in. She's just like amazing. And I found myself thinking like, oh my God, I'll never be her. Like I could never do that, you know? And she said right then, she said, the Amy Silverman you see right before you is not the Amy Silverman that was here 5 years ago. I created her. And I was like, holy shit, that's powerful. I get to create whatever it is I want to create. And I get to learn whatever it is I want to learn. And I get to fail my way forward. I just found a random sheet of paper yesterday that said Superstar by Summit. And I was like, oh, that's not going to happen. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be 9-star number 7 at Summit. Like, I'll take it. So like, fail your way forward and focus on your successes. Focus on your successes. If you let your mind for just a split second think about your failures, you're just hurting yourself and hurting your business. You know, it's your attitude and your effort that will determine your success. I'm going to repeat that. It's your attitude and your effort that are going to determine your success. It's not your skill set. It's not your upline. It's not your outgoing personality. Melanie Mitro is like, doesn't even want to be on stage, you know? So you've got to understand that your attitude, your effort, and your consistency, and I know Scottie's big on this, and one of the best quotes that I've ever heard, which is just so, it fills me with so much hope. Consistency will trump greatness every single time. So you can be great. You can be a master marketer. You can know Facebook ads. You can have your scripts down. You can onboard coaches. You can do all of that. But guess what? If you're not doing it consistently, and I'm going to win. And like, how awesome is that to know that it all boils down to effort, attitude, and consistency. Bottom line. I just had a new coach that was in my team page bitching about, you know, I should say not bitching, complaining about the 6 Summit registration. And I'm just like, wow, like that was me. That was me, the downward spiral that would just like not be able to get on the computer. So I'd sit there for like 3 hours straight, just working myself up into a rage, you know? And I'm like, that's just not who I am anymore because of this, because of coaching. What coaching has, who it's taught me to be and how it's taught me how to respond to life. So we only have like 8 minutes. So this is what I want to circle back to. OneDrive, YouTube searching, because again, like I still do it. Every time I'm in the car for 10 minutes by myself, I go to YouTube and I just listen to something. Just listen to anything from a top coach. And this was right when I started, and I think it changed my whole entire business. And it's how I do my GSRs now. So it was a call from Lindsay, and Lindsay was at a hotel in Florida with her family. And she said, you need to ask yourself, if you had no time limitations or financial limitations, what would your life look like in 2 to 3 years? 2 to 3 years, no financial limitations, no time constraints. What would it be? And I was like, well, that's kind of fun to think about. But here's the picture that she painted, which I loved. She said, here I am in Florida, and, you know, up here doing this video, like working for an hour or two, you know, my family's down at the pool. I'm going to shut down the computer and spend the rest of the day with them. We don't have 2 weeks paid vacation. We go when we want to go. We go where we want to go, like freedom. And she said, Melanie, who's number 1 in the organization, is like, you know, totally type A, systems, like, you know, up at 5 a.m., posts on Instagram, like does her trainings, like just like clockwork, you know, and that's Melanie's life. And that's what she wants it to be. Then there's Amy Silverman, who was number 2 for a long time. So she was comparing like the 1-2s. And Amy is like hippie wanderluster, goes where the wind blows her, no systems, no children, tattooed all up. Like she's just living this like amazing, crazy life of like exotic travel and freedom. You know, like her and Melanie could not be more polar opposite. But that's what you get to create. You get to write the script. And she said, go home tonight and write it down. And you guys, I'd never thought about that. I think I had thought like, what would I do if I won the lottery? But I really never thought like the reality behind it, because this opportunity was real and I controlled the outcome. I don't control the outcome of the lottery. And so I wrote that vision down, and I've rewritten it, and I've rewritten it, and I've rewritten it. And mine's a beach house too. And I've rewritten it, and it's my vision. So I think your vision is different from your why. It's different from your goals. They're all, in my vision, they're all woven together because it's like 3 or 4 pages long. So yes, it says like superstar diamond top 10 coach, but that's not all I read every morning because that would stress me out. That feels like pressure, you know? So it's about the relationship I have with my kids. It's about the freedoms that we get to do and where we're spending our summers, and the relationship I have with my husband, and the friends that we have in our life, and the relationships that I get to build with other coaches in this organization. And like, it's just this life vision. And you guys, I read it every single morning. And that is 100% the reason why I push so freaking hard every single day. If I didn't read that every day, I wouldn't do what I do. But that vision is so clear. So, and I always compare it to, like, I have a friend of mine in the coach network that her husband is overseas in the military, and like that's a big part of her why, you know, and that quite frankly is a lot bigger why than like me wanting a beach house and like, you know, freedom to like be with my friends. So you would think that that's much more powerful. It's not, because she's not consistently looking at it every single day. The other thing I'm going to wrap up with is, so I love personal development. I've done it for years, but this actually, when I came to Beachbody, was a very different like genre of personal development. And that's really what changed me. Before it was much more kind of spiritual. But so I've kind of like piecemealed what worked for me from a lot of different practices and a lot of different things. And I was doing this every morning. And then I heard some YouTube of Tony Robbins, and he talked about this process. And I was like, oh my God, I came up with that on my own. That's really cool. And it's the exact same process. And he talks about 3-3-3. 3 minutes of gratitude. You got to start with gratitude because you have to get yourself into a good feeling place. You can't just go, I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my, you know, you have to get there emotionally. So a lot of times I will listen to music to get me there, or I'll listen to a guided meditation that walks me through the gratitude that has music in the background that gets me there. And so then I'm feeling like this amazing feeling, and then it's 3 minutes of prayer for other people. And then it's 3 minutes of your vision. And you guys, we all have 9 minutes. Do you have 9 minutes every morning to like completely transform your whole entire life? I 100% wholeheartedly believe that if you put those 9 minutes into practice, your life will change on every level, and your business will change on every level. So that's what I'm going to end with.
Awesome, Moira. That was the comments are like blowing up in the team page.
I didn't even look at them.
So I know you have to run. So many amazing key points that you gave, and it's like no surprise to me that you're in the top 10 and number 7 right now. Super proud of what you're doing and the way that you've inspired our coaches today. I know you don't get anything financially from that, and that's why you're successful, because you just want to give and serve, and you're living in the area of your purpose like this. So I know you got to run, but I'll let you guys know our next week's, feel free to send Moira a comment on our Facebook wall or whatever. Let her know how grateful you are for her doing what she did for us today. Next week we have Elisa Galios on our team call. She is last month she had like SC 40 plus in her account and her husband's account. She's absolutely amazing at telling her story. Her husband passed away from cancer. She has an amazing blog, and she's powerful at telling her story. She's a part of this team and a part of this downline. She's going to be sharing with us next week. So make sure that you invite your friends, your challengers, your coaches, your entire team to come listen to her. And then this call will also be up on my YouTube channel to be able to watch it or send it to someone that might need to hear it. So I know I'm going to be sending this to all my challengers, all my coaches that were on today, and so they can hear this story today from Moira. So once again, thank you, Moira, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.